What's up, gamers? This is That PlayStation Gamer. Today, we're going to talk about some rumors, some news, and stuff like that. Because, hey, I've been sick for a bit. So, hey, I figured why not talk about some of this stuff. First thing we got to talk about, of course, is Studio Bend and Blue Point's live service games being canceled. Now, I know some people out there are very sad about that. My God, no way. Why would Sony shut down a live service God of War game? And why would Sony shut down Ben's project? Probably because Concord was such a financial flop and they kind of want to get rid of everything that's kind of remnants of the Jim Ryan era. Because let's be honest here, Jim Ryan was kind of a fucking toxic person that you just want to be done with. Just move on. Scrape him, all the shit he did aside and be like, okay, get that shit out of here. So, yeah. Personally, I think this is a good call. I think the studios need to just focus on doing the single player, story driven stuff. Because, whenever executive mandates you do something, there's no heart behind it. So, yeah. And I think after Concord, the PlayStation's recognized that, hey, live service, not exactly the golden goose we thought it was. So, next thing we got to talk about is actually someone who's not in the company anymore, and that's Shuhei Yoshida. So, Shuhei Yoshida recently left PlayStation. I remember making a video talking about it. He's actually one of the few remnants of the people who were there for the original PlayStation days. Well, Shuhei basically went on to Kind of Funny and did an interview. And he actually, at one point, they talked about remasters and remakes. And how he thought it was actually kind of funny, like how people think, Jim Ryan was up there like, oh, you can only do remakes and remasters when that's not how it works for one. And he actually thinks it's good for some company, studios to get the extra revenue. So basically that's what it boils down to. Is he said that it's good for them to get the extra revenue from the remasters, remakes, freaking, PC ports. Because when you're making these big budget games, they cost so much money and, the money's got to come in somewhere, right? If you're a business, let's just look at it from this perspective. Let's say your business and one of your branches, let's say you run a video game store, chain, whatever, and one of your stores isn't pulling in as much revenue as the rest of them. Now, either you could go to that store and say, hey, you guys need to do this, you need to do that, you need to just, start amping it up, or you could do something that kind of levitates what they can do while not while they'll still let them do their own thing. Like let them have their own flavor, whatever. Just, they're making the store a different color or whatever. So I kind of get where this is coming from. Remasters and remakes, while they are easy to do and for the most part they're relatively cheap to do, it's also financially beneficial because, well, more people get a chance to play these games. And I do think this is also kind of leaning into the idea that at some point, PlayStation is going to be looking at themselves as more as a publisher than as a, big platform holder. But then again, I think one of the benefits of why they shouldn't do live action games, just go into that real quick again, is because they're a platform holder. So it's kind of a damn situation. It's either you do the live service stuff and the studio might financially go bankrupt and just ruin themselves, or you do their live, the remasters and remakes and other stuff, like movies, TV shows, and whatever, in order to keep, that studio the way it is while bringing in some extra revenue. So that's my thoughts on that. Of course, the next thing we're going to talk about is this rumor, and it's coming from Nate the Hate, and that is next month there could be a PlayStation State of Play. Yeah, I feel like this is kind of obvious at this point. Like, I think the next thing, first off, it's not going to be a showcase. I'm sorry, guys. If you're expecting a showcase anymore, I think you're expecting the wrong thing. I think right now with PlayStation is, first off, I think they like the branding better. State of Play versus PlayStation Showcase. Like, a showcase makes it sound like it's too big. Like, you can't have nothing but, you have to have nothing but big announcements. And with PlayStation this year, I do think, obviously, they have to have some kind of release dates in mind. And there's other games besides, the big two I could think of, Ghost of Yotei and Death Stranding 2. They have third-party deals with that would probably benefit, from a State of Play. showing off their games for an extended period of time. Games like Phantom Blade Zero. So, yeah, I do think there will be a state of play. I don't know if it'll be soon as next month, but that does sound like something in their kind of history they've done in the past. They always like to have that, like that early, I guess you would say, state of play to kind of get people excited for, what's coming through for the year. So I could see that happening. And also, if I was to throw a date, it'd probably be before April, because that's also the time Nintendo's doing their direct. And all eyes will be on them. So probably before April, we'll have some kind of state of play. Get a little bit more confirmation about Ghost of Yotei and Death Stranding 2. I think Death Stranding 2, for the record, I'm just throwing my hat out there, my cap out there. I think that's their big, before holiday game. Maybe we could get a, quick release, something like we got with Astrobot. But then again, I don't know how Sony is planning this stuff. And yeah, we still have not heard anything about Marvel's Wolverine. So I don't know. My hopes is that we actually hear something about Marvel's Wolverine in the next state of play, or I really just gotta chalk that game up to as too little, too late at this point. So, yeah. Until next time, guys, this is That PlayStation Gamer. What you think about this format, wrapping up the news quicker? I was good at each do these videos individually, and I'm gonna be honest. Just like I was having bad takes. There was like, snot my, freaking throwing everything. I was just like, dude, no, just do it in all one take. Just try to make it quick and simple. What do you guys think of this format? Do you think this is better to cover the news when there's so many subjects to talk about? Or do you think I should do it individual basis? Let me know in the comments section below. And until next time, guys, this is That PlayStation Gamer signing out. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that YouTube algorithm BS. Bye.